Wait for it. Wait for it. Boom! And we are live. Welcome to the Slam Jam Wrestling Show here on the Extreme Improv Extremes YouTube channel, as well as the Slam Jam Wrestling Show YouTube channel. Do check out www.youtube.com/@Slam Jam Wrestling Show. And tonight we are going to have the long-awaited, well, in fact, there's never been one of these before, there will never be one of these again, WrestleMania 39 prediction show. On the show tonight, to begin with, we may get more, fingers crossed, we should be, but Gav, say hello to the people.
Hello guys, how you doing?
Yes, we're doing good. They're doing good. No, do you know what? It's because look, you can't separate Gav from the wrestler. You say it, you expect that audience interaction.
Response.
Yeah, you expect that live.
Happen, is it really?
Yeah.
Unless we go live in the public domain.
Live in person. Yeah, at some point this will happen. But the coming up is WrestleMania 39. How are you feeling just generally about WrestleMania 39 coming up, Gav?
Like the thing is, like traditionally, I spend it with like my family, my brother in particular, and we watch it. And so we stay up late, we get all the treats and what have you, and we make a big event of it.
Wow, that's awesome. What kind of treats?
We get everything in. We get like the Krispy Kreme donuts, no advertising. We get everything. we go all out.
Wow, that I have never done that. Like at best, like I will probably have like a can of Pepsi, and yeah, that's all I'll do for WrestleMania.
Takeaways in and whatnot.
Wow, yeah, that sounds amazing. Like I don't know if I've ever eaten during a WWE, because it's like 1 o'clock in the morning sort of time.
That's right, yeah.
I don't know if I've ever. That sounds amazing though.
So we load it up as well before. So we do even in the daytime. We'll probably get together and then we'll watch a few wrestling events. And
yeah, this sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Jesus, I've been living a lie. This sounds like what the hell have I been doing all this time? No, that sounds.
Next time.
Okay, but what did you say that this time is going to be different in any way?
Not really. No, it's going to be the same kind of thing going on again. So yeah, we've got everything planned for the 2-day event. So
yeah. Okay, so it is a 2-day event again. Like, is this the third or fourth year this is now?
Third, isn't it?
Yeah, at least the third time they've done it. Like 2020, 21, 22. So this will be the fourth, in fact.
Oh, really?
That's insane, yeah. But, so obviously WrestleMania 2020 was in front of no fans, but 2021 was. So this will be the third time it's 2 nights in front of people.
Yeah.
You know, and we have now earlier I saw this, it said that it was the order of the matches. We'll see if this is actually true or not.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so I don't think this counts as spoiler. Look at that, I screen capped it and it doesn't seem to have saved. God damn. Right, let's have a look. It's not that. No, I don't know if I've got it. Well, yeah, exactly. I'll pull it up, but from what, like exactly as you said, we're going to have Austin Theory and John Cena going out first. Is that just John Cena saying, look, I'm going to do my match and I'm leaving?
I think you need to start off with a banger, and like John Cena being the opening match, we're kind of used to him being the closing or towards the end. So this is pretty good. Like it sets the scene, really, doesn't it? So,
yeah, like Cena, can he lose if he's in the opening match? You think Cena's losing?
Yeah, he's got to pass that torch.
I would agree, but like just like you start WrestleMania off with John Cena and then he loses, I just feel like the whole audience is just going to be like, it's going to be one of these shows.
Yeah, I was going to say we kind of know what Cena's doing is, really, don't we?
Yeah.
He goes back to Hollywood, so can't expect him to, unless he does win it and he keeps it for one night.
Oh, okay. Well, to drop it to Theory the next night?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'd like to see that, but I feel that people will still say, Cena should have done the honours for Theory. Wouldn't do it on the big show.
Yeah, well, everyone still tunes into Raw after Mania, don't they? So.
Yeah, absolutely. But there is something about, like, whenever like someone just doesn't win, or like someone who should lose or put someone over doesn't do it on the pay-per-view, like I even thinking back like when Thunder Rosa was going to win the women's championship and she like didn't do it at Double or Nothing but did it a month later, or even going back years to TNA when Bobby Roode was against Kurt Angle for the world title at Bound for Glory, and then Angle just kept it. And everyone was like, how could you bury Bobby Roode like that? And they were like, we've got a plan. And maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But then he had his heel turn and it worked out.
Sometimes they do miss the boat. Unfortunately, I think that's the case with Sami Zayn as well.
Yeah. Okay, hang on. This can't be... So I've got it on Wikipedia here. I'm going to see if I can bring up the match order. Just because going by this, it would mean that main event of night one is Rey Mysterio versus Dominic. That isn't main eventing WrestleMania. That can't be. Right.
You know what? It could. But
that would be insane. Right, let's see if WrestleMania... Man, if I could even spell WrestleMania, that'd be good. WrestleMania match order. Let's see if it does come up. Will it come up? Oh, so I don't know if actually is this genuine. People are saying these are my predictions.
Oh, is that what it is?
Oh, okay. So I don't know if the whole match order, but I think it was announced. I think you are right. They did say Cena would be starting the show off. In which case we can give a couple of predictions on that. But are we in agreement? Well, I don't know if I agree with it in theory, but theory, no pun intended. But do you think Theory is taking the win here?
I would hope so.
Yeah, I think he should. Unless the only thing I don't like is starting WrestleMania off with Austin Theory beating John Cena. It just feels a bit sad to me. It just feels like this is like an unofficial John Cena retirement match if he just loses in the opening match.
I think he's coming up to the end of it, isn't he?
Maybe. It's like, who's to say? Like, who would have ever thought that The Rock wouldn't have wrestled after the Eric Rowan match?
True.
So it's like, this could be the last one, whether he quite thinks it is or not.
Yeah, it's true.
So, but anyway, so the next one we've got on the list here is Seth Rollins and Logan Paul. Okay, so one of the things that's interesting is apparently this is the last match. Oh, here comes Andrew, so let's just pull Andrew in here. But apparently this is the last match on Logan Paul's current contract.
That's right, yeah. Is he going to sign again?
I think he will. Like, I think they signed him for, like, because he wrestled at Mania last year, and they probably say, oh, let's sign you until Mania next year. They've given him this big match here. So I think that was just, they signed him for 1 year. They're going to do that, and probably Logan Paul was probably like, you know, I'm sure Triple H was like, oh, here's a contract extension or something. But I'm sure Logan Paul was like, well, let's do this and let's negotiate after. Let's weigh up some options. You know,
it makes sense to keep him on board because he's really good.
Yeah.
Doing that. And then at least it gives him an opportunity to put his drink out to more people.
What is it called? Prime?
Prime, that's right, yeah.
It's so weird because I always just think of Amazon Prime. I'm going to like watch something on Prime tonight.
And then Optimus.
Optimus Prime, exactly. Yeah. Right. So, Andrew, are you with us?
I am.
Oh, hang on, he's just... Ta-da! He's not there, but I couldn't...
Not there.
Okay.
There, you can see me.
There we go. How are you, Andrew?
I'm good. I'm live from... No, I'm not live from New York. I'm live from the UK.
Live from the UK, and it's not Saturday night. So, Andrew, we've literally just started getting into the predictions. The only one we'd kind of gone past, but we can backtrack for a moment because we've only just got finished with it, is Austin Theory and John Cena is said to be the opening match of night one. Who do you see taking the victory here, or what do you reckon will be going down?
It depends. If this is a one-off match, then I would say Theory. If it's part of, you know, there'll be more than one match, then I could see them, you know, having seen a win and then a rematch down the road. But if this is the one and only time they're going to face each other, I would go with Theory.
I mean, you know, it might actually be interesting if John Cena's like, look, I've got a few weeks, let me win the US title and I'll start doing the weekly defense thing, you know, roll over a few people and then Theory works his way back round to it. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, what about Logan Paul and Seth? I think Logan's got to win. The only reason I don't think Logan will win is because look, he's lost to Roman, and it's just like he'll be like, why am I going to re-sign if you're just going to have me lose over and over again?
It's a tricky one because also, last few weeks Seth Rollins has been knocked out a couple of times.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
So he needs
He
to
has been getting over.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, realistically, it's only Roman that he's lost to so far.
Yeah, but he's had like...
Sorry, he's actually lost the tag match last year's WrestleMania.
Yeah. So he only beat The Miz.
Yeah, that's right.
He's only like had one win. He's had a pay-per-view main event world championship match. And so I think he needs this. Although, again, it's tricky just because Seth lost at WrestleMania last year against Cody.
Yeah, and Seth needs a win, really.
Yeah.
Needs a new gimmick.
Needs. Are you not liking the laughter and his theme music?
I'm not a fan of the Rent a Batman villain or whatever the hell he's doing.
Yeah.
I like Seth Rollins in the ring.
I was just about to say, I think this is like my favourite incarnation of him. I think, well, apart from obviously the Shield, and when he first came in, but.
Yeah, it's the weird thing. Like Seth to me was always like the extra guy in the Shield because I was like, Ambrose is going to be the guy, and then he just kind of like wasn't the guy, and then somehow it was Roman that was the guy, and then as soon as he turned heel, and it was like, oh my god, I'd not been paying attention to Seth, and then he was like main eventer and all that for a while there. Yeah. Okay, I'm putting my money, though, on Logan Paul to take the win. I think he needs it, and I think WWE need to give that bargaining chip to him.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's all about the money.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Look, because like WWE they'd normally be, and look, is Vince there? Is Vince not? We don't know.
Go.
On.
He's going to be there.
Is he going to be at Mania?
He's going to be at Mania.
Yeah,
if he appears on the screen or not, I don't know.
I don't think he'll appear. I think he will be there because I think if they're starting the ball rolling on potential buyers.
Yeah.
I can see Vince being there with potential buyers. This is what you're buying. WrestleMania is the perfect place to kind of wine and dine the potential buyers.
Yeah. Exactly. So, but like, here's the thing. So, classically, though, if someone isn't signing a contract, Vince would be like, "Look, Logan, you're not signing, so we're jobbing you out." But I think Logan will just be like, "Well, I'm just going to go do a celebrity boxing match, and you guys aren't respecting me." So, I think they're going to be like, "No, we want to keep you." So,
I don't know. Like, this is going to sound bad. Wins doesn't really mean that much in regards to like the celebrity side of things. So I don't think it'll matter too much when you lose it,
Yeah, maybe. I predicted that he would win the Rumble, and he came in the top 3. Yeah. Or maybe the top 4, I forget. But I'm predicting Logan. Who do you guys have for it?
I've got Seth.
Seth? Andrew?
Oh, I don't know. I'm still undecided. I'll go with Logan.
You're going with Logan, okay. Then we've got here Trish, Lita, and Becky versus Damage Control. And it's because the fact they've done it as a six woman tag, the belts aren't on the line, so it's kind of anyone's guess for. Are they just going to want the?
I don't know why they didn't just drop the belts and give the belts to the what's it called, the WrestleMania showdown match? I can't remember what they call it.
Oh, Showcase.
Showcase, that's the one. I don't know why they didn't put it on those kills and make that more special kind of thing. But anyway, Trish is going to turn heel, isn't she?
Oh, you really think? Okay. I don't know about that. Like, what do you think, Andrew?
Depends what their plans. I mean, these Showcase matches, I'm not particularly interested in them. So, maybe if they made them like, okay, the winners of the women's 4-way match get Lita and Becky at Backlash, then okay, that might create some interest. Like if Ronda and Shayna win, then them against Lita and Becky, okay, that might put some butts in seats.
Yeah. I think Damage Control need to win this, because otherwise they lost the belts, and if they win, then the belts are still on Becky and Lita, and that way it's like, well, we won at Mania, you still have the belts, and I think it just builds to the rematch for the belts.
I think Damage Control have to win this one.
Yeah.
Because even Bailey, her stock has gone down a little bit. She's just been jobbing out all the time. And
So I continue.
I was just saying, Bailey needs to have her star power raised a bit.
Yeah. I don't know what the goal with Damage Control is, but I don't think it's quite worked.
No, but like we were saying 2 or 3 weeks ago, everyone that Triple H has brought back, it kind of hasn't worked, and probably the best out of the bunch of the returnees has been Damage Control.
Yeah.
You know, they're in fact, unless, look, from a couple of weeks ago, is there anyone now that unless there's a surprise match that they haven't announced, is there anyone other than Damage Control that Vince fired that Triple H brought back that's even on Mania? Braun. Is he on Mania?
With Ricochet.
Yeah, the men's showcase.
What, that is that on Mania?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. You're right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fair play. Wow.
I think he's the only one, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's literally, it's like, oh, okay, we're not doing the Battle Royal on Mania this year, but we still need to lump.
Bray Wyatt would have been.
Well, yeah, but look at, and Vince is sitting back in his chair. Well, who was right? You know.
They have a point.
And there was a thing. There was this. Excuse me. There was a story like yesterday or today where Lashley was saying, "I don't even know what I'm doing at Mania." Like, he must be so pissed off, like being lumbered with
Andre Battle Royal.
Well, no, but before that, being lumbered with Bray Wyatt, and then that doesn't even work out.
Yeah.
But at least with Bray Wyatt, he would have been on the Mania card.
Well, yeah, exactly. You know, this is where they just need to. They just need to say, "Oh, Bobby Lashley." If I was WWE now, I'd be like, "Look, I want a match at Mania and surprise me," and people would be like, "Oh, this is like Cody last year," and then bring out Jay White or someone.
I did read that they had a backup for Lashley, but
I was going to say it should have been LA Knight and Lashley.
Well, yeah, it's like
that's a Mania match.
Anything. Like, I mean, how can Omos be at Mania?
Lashley versus Uncle Howdy. That's not going to put bums on seats, but at least it would have been something.
I would have very happily seen Lashley and Lesnar again, because I don't think they actually wrestled at Mania in the past, did they?
No.
So let them have like a final match between them at Mania.
That makes sense.
You know,
it's a missed opportunity.
But I think this is where we see that Vince is back. I don't know.
Could be. Well, that was the whole thing with Omos. As soon as like Omos was against Lesnar, we're like, oh.
Well, that's good. Because that's because I think the idea was Rock against Bray Wyatt, and then Brock Lesnar was like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Jeez, yeah. Right. Okay, let's. Oh, hang on. Here's a headline that I'll click on it now. Nick Khan apparently says Vince McMahon is the only one who runs WWE. Isn't that just hilarious?
There you go.
Okay, so hang on. Let's have a look here. In January, Vince McMahon returns. Blah 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 blah. Whilst appearing on ESPN's First Take, WWE CEO Nick Khan was asked why he took the job with WWE a few years ago after handling the media rights negotiations. And he says, just one note on that, I don't run the WWE. There's only one person who actually runs the WWE, Vince McMahon. A lot of folks to help me to help run the WWE. So yeah, it's Vince. It's always been Vince.
But that probably means more like the business side and this upcoming sale, potential sale.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I absolutely believe that since this man got back, I absolutely believe that I'm sure Triple H and Vince had chats.
He's like, get me coffee.
Considering Vince was running the ship for all those years.
Yeah. Yeah. He's probably, Vince is back and he's like, 3 granddaughters, go make me a grandson. You know. It's like, damn it, I don't want to give this to Shane's grandchildren, you know, or whatever. I think Shane has boys, but like Triple H and Stephanie, they've just got like 3 daughters or something.
3 girls,
yeah. And he's like,
that's a boy. 3 girls and 3 boys.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, let's see what we've got next. In fact, we do have Braun and Ricochet versus Street Profits versus Alpha Academy versus the Viking Raiders. Wow. I kind of feel sorry for some of them there. I feel sorry for Ricochet being lumbered with Braun. I feel sorry for the Street Profits for not having a good tag team to wrestle. I feel sorry for Chad Gable for being really good and then just everything that happens. And I feel sorry for me having to watch the Viking Raiders, you know. But what are our predictions on this?
I don't care.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Gav.
I'm going to pick Street Profits.
Okay, here's a prediction for this match. This 8-man match with like 4 tag teams is not going to last 7 minutes.
No.
Unless they, because they're teased, you know, sort of splitting up the Alpha Academy.
I think it's going to be the other way around. I think it's the Street Profits that's going to split up.
Really? Ooh. Well,
I don't think that should happen Sunday or Saturday or whenever.
Maybe not right now, but plant the seed even. So,
yeah, could be.
Like I said, both these showcase matches, if they announce that they're, like I said, they're both number 1 contenders matches, you know, men's match, the winners will face either the Usos or Owens and Zayn at Backlash. The women's match, the winners will face Lita and Becky at Backlash, and then gives those matches a bit of meaning, a bit of.
I'll tell you what's going to happen though. What are they called?
Who?
The ones that's trying to recruit OTs.
Oh, maximum male models.
That's the ones. They're going to come down and distract. It's going to cause the distraction. Otis is going to go off, and that's going to be how they get in with something.
Wait, so
the other team are going to win.
Oh my god, it gets worse. Like LA Knight will be sat in catering, being like, "Damn, maybe I should have stayed with them just to be on Mania."
I mean, unless they do something with I can't even say his name. LA Knight comes out during Mania, because they've done it before with Mania. Like Elias came out one year, not advertised for a match, and then I think Cena came out or someone.
That's right.
Yeah.
I can see them maybe doing something like that with LA Knight, and some legend comes out. And, I don't know, maybe
we'll truly know if Vince is back or not, because LA Knight will be in the back, and suddenly IRS will walk up to him, and you know. And the ghost of Kamala and Kim Chi will be there, just doing like the belly stuff.
Yeah.
And then some more nonsense. $1 Million Man will show up, and then we'll know that there's 20 seconds left on the segment because Ron Simmons will come in and stand there like this. You know, yeah, I don't know. They need to. I always thought they should just every year do a gimmick battle royal like they did at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Was it 16, 18, 17? Was it 17?
Yeah,
I loved that. You know, the Iron Sheik, you know, won. So
still walking down. Actually, no, that was 38, wasn't it? When Bobby made the comment about, Iron Sheik will get to the ring at WrestleMania 38.
Oh yes, yeah, absolutely. I love the fact that he won just because he couldn't be eliminated. No, but fair play. Okay, so let's give predictions on that. I think as they're the only, well, if people think they'll split up, they split up. But I think the Street Profits are the only tag team worth a damn in that thing. That Viking Raiders are a real tag team, but I just don't care. So Street Profits should win this.
Yeah, should do.
Yeah, I don't think there's a good alternative to that.
But what happens when they win? It's just
they didn't lose. I don't know. You're such a good point, Gav. What happens when they win? Okay, let's go on to next. We will have, it says, just going by the order they're listed here, but this is, from what I understand, the main event of night 1, Charlotte and Rhea Ripley.
Shouldn't be the main event.
Shouldn't be the main event.
Shouldn't be. I understand the whole Royal Rumble rule of being the main event, but that hasn't been stuck. That rule hasn't been stuck by all the time.
Well, exactly. They had Steve Austin last year. Go on.
Especially now when you have, first of all, now you have 2 Rumble matches, and now WrestleMania's 2 nights. It's kind of lessens the meaning of, the main event. It's now everywhere.
I mean, the build hasn't been that great, apart from the last bit. And, like, everyone's more invested in the Bloodline storyline this year. So, I think both nights should be Bloodline. Or even if you're not going to start the event with the Bloodline, end it on both nights with the Bloodline.
Yeah.
Unless they do something where they kick off night 2 with Usos against Zayn.
It's listed for night 1. Currently, it's listed for night 1, yeah. It's Usos, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn. It's listed here as the penultimate match, but I don't think this is the order. But what I envisage is that if Charlotte and Rhea have to go on after this, like, I think they need a buffer match in between.
Big time.
Because otherwise it's going to be like Triple H and Jericho after Hogan and Rock.
Tell you what they'll do, they'll get someone to sing in the middle. Excuse me. Sing or do some kind of thing in the middle of it.
Yeah. Like, I think Usos and KO and Sammy needs to be in the middle of the show so that there's like 1 or 2 matches so that people can, like, then they can put on Braun and Ricochet, etc.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe even Ray and Dominic after, and then have it's Charlotte and Rhea. Like, Rhea could be the main event. I've never actually fully been on board with Charlotte Flair as a concept.
No.
The
real match I was there looking for, and I was really looking forward to it, to be honest, was Bianca versus Rhea.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was set with that match in my head all the time. I think a lot of people thought that as well. So now it's not really on.
Well, exactly. They're giving us a WrestleMania match that we've already had before.
Yeah.
It feels like Charlotte just has to be in the Women's Championship match at Mania. That we don't really care. And, like, even if it's not worked out like it did at first, like Ronda Rousey, I heard that she was kind of pissed off with things, but she isn't even on the show. And so
because she's injured, or actually no, she's in
showcase.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like, so she's whether things have worked out or not, and whether perhaps she's not had the best attitude in that, she's still like a big name. And so if they'd had Rhea versus Ronda, then you put Rhea over.
Yeah. With Ronda, it doesn't help that over the past year, at least promos and stuff, it looks like she doesn't want to be there.
Well, exactly. Yeah, this is kind of her fault. You're right.
There's no at least Charlotte has some. I don't think she's a natural baby face. I think that's the problem with Charlotte at the moment. Yeah. She's a natural heel. And right now.
And Charlotte's brilliant. I think she's really good, but I think she needs to be taken out of the title picture and give her more substance.
Or even just have Rhea and Bianca on one show, Charlotte and Asuka on the other.
Yeah.
I'm much more interested in the idea of seeing Asuka defeat Charlotte than I am for just Rhea versus Charlotte again.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think Asuka should have won that first match anyway.
Yeah.
With Charlotte. And then again, Asuka should have been booked the way she... You can tell Vince is back because Asuka was some kind of credible person at the Royal Rumble. And then after that, it's just dwindled. And it's just like that goofy segment with her teasing with the belt. And it's just like, why would she do that? I don't get that.
Yeah.
That's Vince's Asuka.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, there's been fingerprints of Vince in the last few weeks. Yeah. Okay, so let's put our predictions. Are we all saying Rhea on this one? I don't want to assume it, but it seems...
Yeah.
It's got to be Rhea, really.
And the fans are starting to get behind it. I mean, she's still a heel.
Yeah.
I don't think they should turn Rhea babyface. Just,
But do you notice that they're separated? Sorry?
No, I finished.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Have you noticed that they separated Rhea from Judgment Day quite a bit now?
Yeah.
A fair amount. Like, obviously, they've still had... Like, I even read that Dominic says that he will be coming out with Rhea at Mania. We'll see if that actually happens.
Right.
If they want to turn Rhea into a major babyface, all they have to have her do is just knock Dominic on his ass.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Babies will be in the air.
I don't think they can do that for a while because they don't want to.
No,
they don't want to knock down Dominic in his feud with Ray.
Yeah.
Which brings us, I guess, to Ray and Dominic. Dominic has to win, right?
Yes, dude. Like,
I can't imagine Ray. Like, even if Ray's going to be like, "Oh, I'm retiring," I don't think he's going to take the win from his son on the way out.
Exactly that. You've got to put your kid over.
Yeah.
That's it. You know.
Yeah.
So.
I still help with Dominic's because I think since Dominic turned heel, I think he's been fantastic.
He's been brilliant.
Like a proper, not the cool heel, the kind of heel that you like when Ray hit him on SmackDown, like the pop from the crowd. It was like, you know, everyone's been waiting for that for weeks, a month.
Okay, here's a question though. Are we going to get a WrestleMania moment between them where there's any kind of like forgiveness, the hug in the ring? No.
Too soon.
Too soon.
No.
Yeah.
Dominic's too good as a heel right now. If he beats his own dad, and imagine on Raw the following night, it'll be unbearable.
Yeah. I do agree. Okay, but is there anyone think that Ray's taking the win here? I don't think Ray should win this. Like, okay, that brings us to main event for... No, sorry. Should be the main event for night one. Usos against KO and Sammy. I think it has to be KO and Sammy win, but the only problem I see with this is, does this then tell us who's winning between Roman and Cody? No? Ooh.
Well, I'm of the belief that at least post WrestleMania, you know, having a bloodline without any belts would be, you know, that would be the story post WrestleMania. You know, the bloodline with no belts. Now what? So I'm going with Owens and Zayn.
And you know what? That will be very good as well, because then they can just run rampage through everything and just go crazy. And
Yeah.
I'm here for that.
Yeah, I can see that. Because, okay, so if the Usos lose, if Roman loses, I think the Raw after Mania, the Bloodline will come out, or maybe they'll save it till SmackDown or something like this, and Roman either will have so that he beats up like Jay or something and walks out, and it kind of leaves them as like a broken bloodline, or...
Yeah, I think Roman is going away for a while, isn't he?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. It's like, how are they going to write Roman out? Well, that's if Roman loses, you know. How are they going to write him out? Are they just going to have him lose and not show up, or are they going to have him solo? Wow. Solo lost, didn't he?
The Cody first loss.
Yeah. Well, as far as Solo's first loss, Cody's the right person for it to happen.
I almost wonder if they should have saved that until after Mania, because if Cody beats Roman, they could have given it 1 or 2 months, and it could have been like, and imagine if Solo did like that with Roman, he could be like, I'm the undefeated one, I'm now going to be,
Exactly.
I'm like the fresh, the youngest, the most hungry, and undefeated, I'm going to challenge Cody, and then you'll be like, well, he might pick up where Roman left off.
Exactly that.
But I don't know his status or even his age or what. But,
Who's Solo?
No, not Solo. Whether they bring in Jacob Fatu.
It feels like they're never ever going to do that, because apparently, like, he broke some. I don't know if it was armed robbery or something like this. There was some crime he broke. Right? Let's look it up. But apparently, he's persona non grata, which I think is such a shame, because
Booker T.
Oh, there's loads of them. Like they had Bam Bam Bigelow, who was like a bounty hunter and stuff like this. And although
as long as you paid your dues,
well, yeah, but like it's weird. Is it New Jack was also a bounty hunter, wasn't he?
I think so.
New Jack and Bam Bam Bigelow, I believe, are wrestlers who were bounty hunters, which just sounds it sounds so weird in the UK. We don't have this, obviously.
Yeah.
What's your profession? I hunt down people with guns, right? Let's have a look here. Okay, so Jacob Fatu was trained by his uncle Rikishi, blah, 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 blah. Personal life, armed robbery. As an 18-year-old, for God's sakes, and like he's 30, that's 12 years ago.
Okay. Yeah.
It doesn't say he shot anyone, it doesn't say that he killed anyone, just...
How old is he now?
30. That was 12 years ago.
I'd say he's still young. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, hopefully they'll do something like with Jacob Fatu at some point. So
is he with any company at the moment?
I think he's still in MLW, right? Yeah, I think he's kind of like, I first heard about him in MLW, which I was starting to get into, but when AEW became a thing, I kind of fell more and more off of the MLW train. But I think he's probably still involved with MLW. Yeah, look at that, MLW 2019 to present. Okay, so are we in agreement, all of us, or any disputes on the Usos losing to KO and Sammy?
I heard someone come up with a theory the other day that what if KO joins the Bloodline?
Oh, that would, like, oh my god, like, then what? Like, so, that'd be insane. I'd almost like to see that happen, just to see, well, what have they got planned now, you know, line it up, but otherwise, I don't know about that. I think that sounds crazy. Like, not just a bad idea, but it would just be it's completely flipped.
Flip the script,
yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's have a look. So for night 2, we have Gunther, Sheamus, Drew. I'm saying I'm all in for Gunther keeping it for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, if they were, the only reason I would accept, say they decided to put the belt on Sheamus, belt he's never won before, if that led to, like the talk of Butch going back to being done at some point, if Sheamus winning, becoming Intercontinental Champion for the first time, never won the belt before, it'd be a feel-good moment, and then that leads to, maybe Sheamus, Pete Dunne later on in the year, then they put the belt on Pete Dunne. That would be cool, but yeah,
I think Gunther should keep it. Like, if they really get behind Gunther, then they could build up. If Cody wins the world title, they could build up to SummerSlam or something like that, where it's but 2 champions, and Gunther's been Intercontinental Champion for however long, I
think they need to get the Honky Tonk Man to come down.
Well, yeah. How long has Gunther been Intercontinental Champion now?
I'm not too sure.
Is it a year yet? I don't think it's a year.
Almost. I think
it's approaching a year. I don't know. Right. Well, anyway.
It was after WrestleMania 38.
Yeah, he was. Who was champion last year? Was it Ricochet?
Ricochet. Yeah, he beat Ricochet, didn't he?
Yeah. Okay.
How long was the Honky Tonk Man champion?
They say 2 years, but I don't know if it actually was 2 years. Let's see if we can find that list of Intercontinental Champions, and let's see, Honky Tonk Man. So he won it on June 2nd, 1987, lost it August 28th, 1988. So they said 2 years. It was literally a year and 3 months.
Exactly.
Gunther could actually take this. Let's see if it says how many days that was. So 454 days, and then Gunther, if I scroll down a long ways, a lot of title changes here, is at 290. So he's still got a ways to go. He's still got 100 plus days to go. But currently Gunther is 454 for Honky Tonk Man, and Gunther is currently at 290. So yeah, I don't know. Right, let's see what's the next match on Mania though. Oh, in fact, no. Did we predict on that? Who do we think's winning that one?
Gunther.
Gunther.
I can see Sheamus winning. I can see him going that way
as well.
Well, yeah. The only thing is, you have to think about the balance. If we're saying that Theory is keeping the championship, and if KO and Sammy win the championships, that's feel good. If Rhea wins, people want Rhea to win even though she's a heel. It's just how many heels go over here. We have the Edge versus the Edge. We have Edge versus the Edge versus the Demon Finn Balor. Hell in a Cell at Mania.
Hell in a Cell. The Demon versus the Brood.
Yeah. Wow, you're right, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, they should have Gangrel.
I think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I can just see it coming with the whole fire pit and the blood.
In fact, was there something I saw? No, this is weird. I saw something about Gangrel on Twitter about like heading to LA or something.
Actually,
Yeah, it's kind
him on an
of it's
airport.
part
Well, yeah.
WrestleMania weekend and some, like maybe Access or whatever stuff that they do.
They should have Gangrel there.
Yeah, I was going to say they're going to have to bring him out for the Edge.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Is traveling
There you
to
go.
Los Angeles.
There you go.
They should do it.
Let's do it.
I think Edge needs to win this.
The last match, did he win?
I don't think so. What?
Elimination Chamber, him and Beth won the mixed tag.
That's it, yeah.
Did they? I thought they lost.
No, they won.
Oh, okay.
That's why everyone thought the feud was over, and it's like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and Edge did say that this year would be his retirement year.
I think he...
He said that like a year ago, though.
Oh, right, okay.
So who knows if it actually will be. But I don't know. I feel like he's just... His return is he's been kind of like floating for like 3 years. They gave him a main event, obviously at Mania, where they threw in Daniel Bryan and Roman won, and it was like, what was the point of Edge and all that? But I don't know. I think Edge should still win. Like, I like Finn. I always liked Finn, but I don't know. To me, like, weirdly, even though he's the leader of the Judgment Day, he's the one I'm least interested in it. Like, in the Judgment Day. No, you know what? I didn't like Damian Priest until the Judgment Day, and now I feel like Damian Priest is growing on me. But Finn Balor, it feels like, well, he's the leader just because it needs to have a leader, and they decided it would be him. But it's really, Judgment Day is all about Rhea and Dominic now, to me. You know.
I don't think Finn quite fits in the role he's in. I mean, I like Finn a lot, but I just doesn't really. Him as the leader of Judgment Day. I could see Edge winning, and then if they decide to, split up the Judgment Day, I mean, a Finn Priest feud might be good.
Yeah, I don't think they should split up the Judgment Day just because that would impact too much on, like, I was going to say Guerrero, Jesus, on Dominic.
Wow.
Yeah, Dominic Guerrero, right, because he's basically Eddie now, but with his look at least, not in the ring. Jesus. Right, okay, so I'm saying I think Edge has got to win that one. Any other bids on that?
Good.
You go Finn.
I'll go with Edge. I'm intrigued about the match. I'm not as excited for it as maybe it's because all these years of Hell in the Cell pay-per-views, it's been, the Hell in the Cell concept has been diluted over the years. And what can they do?
What with Hell in the Cell? But it's Hell in the Cell at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
When was the last time they did a Hell in the Cell at WrestleMania? That's a long time ago now.
Taker and Triple H.
Wow. Okay, yeah, so what year was that?
Or was it Shane and Taker? Was that after or before that?
Oh, that's a good point as well. Let's have a look when it was. So, the last one at WrestleMania was at WrestleMania 32, Undertaker and Shane. So, yeah. So, 2016. It's been a few years in between.
I think the Demon can't really lose again.
Has the Demon ever actually won?
Yeah, most of the time.
Does he?
He only lost against Roman, didn't he?
Yeah, he lost again. Well, when was the last time he was the Demon before that?
I can't remember.
It's weird. It feels like they bring it out ever so occasionally, and it's probably just like, guys, it's so much makeup to do.
Yeah.
It's like, I've got to get here at 6 a.m. just to be in the makeup chair.
I think you got to put him over because he's now the now, and then if it is Edge's last match.
I don't think he said. I'm sure they would have announced if it was his last match,
Right.
but I think it's his last year in wrestling.
Okay.
Because, like, even though Finn is 41 years old, Edge is 49. So I don't think there's too much between them in terms of, you know, it's not impossible that if Edge wanted to, he could end up retiring after Finn, and Finn, you know, wouldn't be retiring.
And I was going to say, Edge should really round it up. He came in 2000, didn't he?
Who, Edge? He came in a bit before that.
I mean, like, his first WrestleMania was 2000, wasn't it?
Was it? Like, okay, it probably was, just because the famous tag team ladder match, I think, was in 1999. Right, yeah. So he was already there, but I don't know if he...
I'm lying, aren't I? 19. They had that Mania match, the ladder match, didn't they? Actually, wait.
I can't remember.
2000, that was actually 2000. I'm getting confused now. WrestleMania 2000
was in the year 2000.
Triangle ladder match.
So that would really be WrestleMania. It
wasn't officially 18, a TLC match, but
that would be 18, really, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
WrestleMania 18. So yeah, the 19 was the ladder match. So it was a year afterwards.
Yeah. Okay, next up though we have Women's WrestleMania Showcase Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Match. Liv and Raquel, Natty and Shotzi, Ronda and Shayna, and Chelsea and Sonya.
Ronda and Shayna, because they're really they're a proper team. The rest are just flung together.
Yeah.
Because there's no women's tag team division.
Yeah.
I don't know, the only one that feels like there's anything on TV relevant about them recently has been Chelsea Green coming in. But I kind of hate her character. I feel like this is the dumbest character I've seen in about 4 years, minus Bray Wyatt. But I think Ronda and Shayna should win that. I agree. Okay, which brings us next to Bianca and Asuka.
The build has been so bad for this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we were talking about Charlotte and Rhea earlier, but at least that feud there's a history with those two. Whereas Bianca and Asuka, I think the match will be good.
Yeah, I think so. It's going to be a good match.
But the build there's nothing.
Yeah.
I think the match will be good, but I think they're going to kind of overlook it and give it like 11 minutes maximum. I think it's going to be just getting into it and it'll suddenly be over.
And like, it shouldn't really be like that. With those two talents, and I think they've been hard done by, to be honest. It's just completely overlooked.
Unless the plan is to, fully like restart an Asuka and kind of give her a monster push and bring back the Asuka of old. I'd go unless they're doing that. I'd go with Bianca. We talk about long title reigns. She won it last year's WrestleMania. So is that a year?
Yeah, a year now.
Yeah.
So I'd keep it on her a bit longer.
Do you know, like the interesting thing, just looking at Night 2's matches, we've got, which we haven't touched on yet, Roman and Cody, Brock and Omos, Bianca and Asuka, the women's tag team match, Hell in the Cell, and then the Intercontinental title match. Do you know what? Night 2 actually feels like I care less about it than Night 1.
Yeah.
Like, it just feels like there has been a lot more focus on Charlotte and Rhea. I don't see the women's tag team showcase match having any time given to it at all. Like, again, that could be over in 6 minutes, like the men's one. Hell in the Cell, they'll make that a big deal. We know that Sheamus, Drew, and Gunther are going to have a great match as long as they give it time. Brock and Omos, that can't go more than 4 minutes, right?
That'll be short. That'll just be the visual. That'll just be, Brock suplex him or F5.
Do you know what would be the best way that they could do that? You know, at the end of WrestleMania where they show like a montage of things that happened throughout the night, like the whole night we're like, hey, they didn't do Brock versus Omos, and then just in the montage it has like Brock staring up at Omos, and then they just filmed it earlier. They're like, well, this is the only bit that matters, Yeah, okay, so I don't know. I think I'd like to see Asuka win for the fact that I think she deserves a win. I think Bianca should win, though. I'd rather Bianca won.
I'd rather Bianca won, but I don't know, it's weird. I want more from Asuka.
Yeah.
I do want more from her. I want a proper transition into this new character.
I want to see Asuka chasing Rhea. I don't want to see... If Asuka beats Bianca, then that title is going to float around and do nothing for months.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly that.
You know, so where on Rhea Ripley, the title will mean something, and Asuka could chase her.
Yeah.
Bianca still needs good opponents, and Asuka is a good opponent. Yeah. But I don't think Bianca should lose it, because if Bianca loses it, she's just going to be where Becky is now, where it's like, I don't have a spot on the card.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. I don't know. And then obviously we have Brock and... Oh, did we actually predict on that? Who's saying Bianca's got the win?
I'm not too sure how it's going to go.
Okay.
I expect Bianca to win.
Yeah.
I probably want Bianca to win on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm gonna. There's a chance Asuka can win, and if Asuka wins, good for her. But I think it makes more sense to keep it on Bianca for the long term of the title.
We're thinking like this as well, because we've already seen Asuka with the title before.
Yeah.
We've seen her with the SmackDown title and the Raw title, and it hasn't really done anything when she's won it.
Yeah. Well,
So-
wasn't she actually? I think she may have already been a champion at this point. But wasn't she just given the belt when Becky was pregnant?
Becky was pregnant, yeah.
That was like terrible television as well, because there was like no audience there. And like Asuka had to be like, "You're going to be a mother?" Ooh. And it's like, "I got it." And it's like, "What? No match? No number one contenders match?"
That's because she won the Money in the Bank, though, didn't she?
Oh yeah! Oh my God! That awful.
On the roof.
Yeah, Die Hard on a tower block ladder match. Oh my God.
Well, the problem was, for some reason, you had the men's and the women's. They did them simultaneously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, okay.
Weird, yeah.
Yeah. And Doink was in it. Jesus Christ. Right. Anyway, so I'm saying Bianca for that one.
I'm going to have to agree with you.
Yeah. Okay, Brock and Omos. This will tell us...
I've been waiting for.
Yeah, this is going to be like a 40-minute match, guys.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Iron Man.
Technical. Yeah.
Yeah, just like... Yeah, like, the thing is, Omos has been there a couple of years now. And he's not terrible. He's not... He doesn't do anything wrong. It's just like, you know, a guy that size, it's that there's very limited what can be done with him. Very limited what can be done with him.
Yeah. I mean, I can see, you know, if they could do put the Hurt Business back together at some point, which they have teased. I can see maybe Omos, as is with MVP anyway, kind of maybe if MVP can get Lashley and Omos to sort of go at it, maybe Omos in the Hurt Business with the rest of them.
Okay, how about this? Lashley turns up and everyone's like, Lashley's rejoining the Hurt Business, and now Brock is like this between the two of them. But but Lashley just turns to Brock and is like, I'm sick of the Hurt of MVP, and, you know, I'm sick of Omos, and then they like literally just team up on Omos. Wow. Imagine like the double like suplex on him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Brock and Bobby as a team.
Yeah.
That is
like, it's a shame.
Yeah, how would that work with Brock's limited schedule?
Well, you find the right opponents. So it's a shame, because like there aren't the right opponents in wrestling anymore. Because back in the day, even though they're two singles and they should be singles, it's like, imagine if you'd got Brock and Lashley versus the Legion of Doom. Like, just like that. And then like, and
alone on that.
yeah, and then, you know, or like, you know, even if you've got the Warlord and the Barbarian stood like this with Brock and Lashley opposite, it's that kind of team, and that kind of team doesn't exist anymore.
No.
You know, and if they were to take on Omos and like, just imagine if they literally, Brock had like Omos up and like F5'd him and Lashley caught him.
Yeah.
And then like the crowd would go insane for it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Against Omos and who? Shelton and Cedric?
Against Shelton and Cedric, yeah.
Bring back Spike Dudley.
3-on-2. There's something there. There's something there. Okay, but who do we think is who's going to win this though?
That's got to be Brock, hasn't it? I mean, that's...
Brock, really. He needs to win as well.
He does need to win. He's lost a lot recently.
Yeah.
I think Omos has gone as far as he's going to go. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, who did?
Champion.
Was it Kurt Angle or someone a week ago or 2 weeks ago said that? Look, Brock's at the end of his career. Omos is at the start of his career. Brock should put Omos over.
Really?
That's what Kurt Angle apparently said.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Like, the only problem is like, how can you know, like, some of these guys, like you've got Omos, is he going to be there? Is he, like obviously the Great Khali was there for a while, and then in the end they made him Love Guru or whatever that awful thing was. They could have just always had him as an absolute killer. Yeah. And before that we had, like, Nathan Jones or Matt Morgan, and there was probably, and what's that, Gene Snitsky and Heidenreich. So many of these big guys just, like, peter out, and it's like, wow, if you give them some big wins and then they don't stick around in the either, like, you know, they quit, they get disillusioned with it, or they get fired. It's like, if you're going to give someone a win over Brock, then it's like, well, you need to make them a title contender.
Yeah. You have to be, really. How can you see Omos versus Roman?
No. No, Omos versus Cody. Is that even one pay-per-view?
That's... me personally, if I was booking it, I would have Roman still win.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow. Yeah, like, I'm so torn on it. Like, okay, let's come to that, because that's the last match. I will just to very quickly say, I think Brock is going to win. Because I just think he's going to be like, I'm going out. I think, like, Brock, when it came to him versus McIntyre, and he's like, there's no audience here, I'm leaving, I'll give you 3 minutes, and then, like, McIntyre destroyed him, and he was like, I just don't want to be here in front of no one. I think Brock was like, look, I'll come there, I'll stand there like Hogan and Andre, I'll F5 him, and then I'm getting back on my jet and leaving. Right? Yeah. I think that's that. But I don't know. There is a chance that they, because how many times can, who was it? Omos fight someone, and then what was this thing from a week or two ago? So whoever's in the main event next year fights Omos.
That's right.
Yeah, that's it.
Whoever's the WWE champion this year fights Omos next year.
Yeah. That's great, because it was Brock last year. It was Lashley the year before. So Roman versus Omos next year at Mania. That's great. Whoever noticed that pattern emerging that was genius. Oh dear. Okay, Roman and Cody. What do we have, lads?
It's got to be Cody.
Got to be?
Yeah.
It has to be. Like,
the build up, the story, everything. I mean,
the story's there.
If not Cody, then who?
And that's the thing, like, who else would you give it to?
Just wait a year and bring in Dwayne!
And then, do I even want Dwayne to win?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'd love to see The Rock come back and just, like, lay the smack down on Roman. Why not?
Yeah, no, I'd like to see the match. It shouldn't be for a belt.
Yeah.
Okay, so say it's WrestleMania 40, The Rock versus Roman. Like, no belt. Who wins?
Roman.
Why? It's like he's not even sticking around. If I was The Rock, I'd be like, look, I've got like another Jumanji film coming out. I don't want to be the loser.
Or a no contest, and they both go to Hollywood.
Well, exactly. That's where it looks like Roman's on his way to Hollywood sooner or later.
Yeah, he is, isn't he?
Yeah. So.
I think, like, the thing is, like, the business side of it, you kind of want to put the belt on Cody, because then it opens up the door for all the other AEW people to come across, and they'll be like looking at Cody thinking, oh, well, if he can do it, I can. So
yeah.
You get your MJF coming over and all that other crews.
Yeah. I was listening to the podcast with Jim Cornette and Brian Last, and I think it was Brian Last, said, you know what the biggest match in AEW this year would be? CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam.
Fair point. Fair point. Look, we haven't even touched on AEW and stuff. Like, I think you bring up a great point. People looking at Cody, it's like, well, he started AEW, and now he's WWE champion. MJF in particular, because MJF and Cody, they were like they were tight, you know, and probably still are. So at what point is Cody like, look, I'll work with you in the summer if you don't sign or whatever, 2024 or whatever they're talking about.
Ricky Starks as well as tight with Cody as well. So
yeah.
we'll come over and, you know,
Yeah.
get money.
Okay, based on that, the only thing is they didn't want Cody to be in this match. They wanted it to be The Rock versus Roman. And then when that couldn't happen, they were like, Steve Austin, will you fight Roman? And he was like, no. And then like, oh, okay, go on then, Cody, you know.
Yeah. But do you think it was written in Cody's contract to be the main event?
I don't think they'd have given that in a contract to him.
You know?
No, I don't know. Like,
I think that would, like, to get over the EVP from the another
well,
company,
yeah, that's a good point.
you know, it's just like he's had a great run
Yeah.
with this whole build since last year's WrestleMania.
I can't believe that they haven't turned on him again. I was so sure that with the situation with Sammy, that they were just going to turn on Cody and it would have just been the end of his AEW run all over again.
I think it's because it's like fresh and new. It's funny because like you think back to about just over a year before like everything happened. I remember all of us sitting here like we're tired of Cody.
Yeah.
Just like all over him. He was just finished. He's always like crying. He's always this and that. And as soon as he jumped to WWE, it's just kind of like a new lease of life.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think the big difference though is that he doesn't have Brandy. Because, like, when Brandy, like, because the thing was, Brandy would always come out at the wrong moment. Do you remember when I actually really liked the match with him and Andrade El Idolo? But, like, Brandy was just suddenly there, and it was like, it's Brandy! And she's, like, pouring like, the lighter fluid, and then set her husband on fire. And it's like...
I think she needs to learn a bit of psychology, ring psychology.
Yeah.
And again, like a lot of times, it was just like camera focus on me.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be like that.
The thing is, I never had a problem with Brandy, but it was clear, like in AEW, Cody was falling into that Jeff Jarrett position of, you know, well, I'm one of the ones that runs it, so I'm going to have the longest entrance. I'm going to, you know, it's just going to be me and my family storyline, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. So let's settle on this then. Who do we say, Roman or Cody? Andrew, you go first.
Cody.
Cody, Gav.
Oh.
Oh, okay, I love it. I would really love to see Roman win, but I think I'm going to go for Cody just for the fact that if they keep the Bloodline storyline going now, at some point it will lose its steam. But if they choose to keep us still wanting it, then in a few months' time they can bring it back. You know, they can suddenly be like, they could Usos disappear, maybe Solo does, maybe I don't think Solo should. I don't think the Usos should, to be honest. But even if they disappear for a couple of weeks and then Roman doesn't come back and then they sort of change so that for a few months later, then when Roman does come back, and, you know, if Jacob Fatu comes back, they do something that changes it again, spices it up. Or there's bound to be some more, like, siblings or cousins or something from the Anoa'i dynasty, you know. They can always keep refreshing it, you know.
Yeah. There you go. Simone comes out.
Who?
The Rock's daughter.
Oh shit! Yeah, wow. Yeah, Joe. When did she make her debut? Or was she about to make her debut at?
On NXT, didn't she?
Yeah, but
I don't know what's going on. I don't really watch NXT.
I think there's a thing that she is about to make her debut. Don't they have like a takeover in a couple of days' time, or is that even this week?
Is it tonight or tomorrow?
Jesus, this goes show NXT takeover.
It's very NXT on a Saturday morning or whatever.
Is it still called Takeover? What is it called nowadays?
I don't know.
It's just stand and deliver.
That's it.
Okay, NXT stand and.
Or Saturday afternoon, last year's one was. Like Saturday afternoon before night one of WrestleMania. It's like, okay.
Okay, Stand and Deliver 2023, April 1st. So, April 1st. So what day is that? That is tomorrow.
That's right, WrestleMania.
Oh, that's not tomorrow. Yeah. So they're doing that. They're doing a pay-per-view the same day as their biggest pay-per-view in the year.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
But then again, it's probably to take away from the other promotions doing their stuff as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you know, don't really.
And they have a lot of the WrestleMania crowd there, I would imagine.
Yeah,
Assuming that they do some sort of package where you get tickets to all of everything.
yeah.
Right. Okay. I can't even see. What is her name? Simone. But is that like her
I
ring
don't know
name?
her wrestling.
Ava Rain.
That's the one.
I think that Dr. Rain is now just Ava.
Right.
She's in that god awful group. She's in season. I don't know. It was the last time I check in with NXT occasionally, but
Yeah, like I do. I really should try to watch it more. I don't know. I thought she was on this show, but I can't see that she's on this show. Maybe she is. Who knows? Okay, hang on. On Ava of Schism.
yeah, that's the name of it.
Wow. When you highlight Ava's name on Wikipedia, it just comes up with a page for The Rock.
I just Schism. I just don't like to think of what they've done to the remember the grizzled young veterans.
Yeah.
You don't want to see what they've done to them now.
Oh shit. Right. Well. Anyway, let's begin to wrap this up here. Like, I think I'm going to go with Cody just because I think they're gonna. In terms of like a sale of everything, he kind of fits. He's like USA flag, Dusty Rhodes, there's history and all that. And if Roman's not going to be there every week, then it kind of makes sense.
Have to be Cody, like when you think of it like that. But yeah, I still want Roman, but I don't think it's going to happen.
And then also we've got, as well as NXT, we need to wrap the show up, unfortunately, otherwise we could have a quick look at those matches. There's also the Hall of Fame, which is like the smallest it's ever been. It's literally just Rey Mysterio, and but then obviously, Andy Kaufman, Tim White. They announced yesterday or the day before. Stacy Keibler and Muta. Stacy Keibler's going in the Hall of Fame. That is well deserved. Like,
I was going to say. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, she's definitely well deserved. I would have put her in the Hall of Fame 15 years ago. Right. You know, Miss Hancock, you know, WCW.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right, anyway.
Some of the people in the Hall of Fame, why not?
I wonder who's going to, like, put her into the Hall of Fame. Now, the options.
Tori. Yeah.
Is it just going to be Tori? I was going to say it could be David Flair. You know, because it was, like Stacy Keibler and David Flair were on screen for a while. Either that or the Dudley Boys.
Dudleys, or she was with Randy for a bit, wasn't she?
Randy Orton?
For a bit, like in the story, like
he's got a wife. They're not going to.
When he was the legend killer.
Yeah, kind of like imagine Randy Orton's wife. You know, Randy goes up to her, he's like, "Look, they want me to induct Stacy Keibler." She's like, "No." Right. Okay, so anyway, let's find out where we can find everyone on social media. I'll quickly refresh the page to see if there's not any late breaking news. Andrew, where can the people find you?
Nowhere.
Excellent. I can see a pattern that's going to emerge here. Gav, where can people find you?
Everywhere.
There we go. And I guess you can find me somewhere, hopefully. Right, so let's have a quick look here. Anything else? John Cena explains why he doesn't share a lot on social media. Slow news week. Right, Big E reveals when he will have his checkup on his neck to see if he can wrestle again. Let's just very quickly see when that is. So still right now, still haven't gotten the 1 year checkups. Actually going to do that when I get back home after WrestleMania, so early April. And let's see. It says about it. His neck, it's in the best possible shape right now, so the plan is to get some more scans first week of April. That'll be good. That'd be a feel-good return, but if he comes back, I hope he just wrestles a limited schedule. You don't need to take that risk.
I just want him to be okay.
Yeah, same. Like, let him come in. He's been a world champion. You know, he's been there years and years. Just let him come in and wrestle, like, a very short programs, like some big matches. Give him the dream match with Goldberg so they can both retire.
But then again, no.
Well, yeah, Goldberg will injure him. Yeah. I don't know. Okay, look, bring in Goldberg, put over Big E for his retirement, for Goldberg's retirement, and then let Big E have a few more matches. Build up like Roman and the Usos versus the New Day. If Big E was going to have a retirement match, I don't think there's a better singles match. He should be with the New Day.
Yeah.
And then have them go over the Bloodline or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. But other than that, it doesn't look like there is any big breaking news. There will be in about half an hour.
Did you see that?
No? Go to see what?
A little spot in AEW last night.
Do you know what? I haven't caught up with AEW. So what happened?
Oh, right, okay. Well, one of the promos, Moxley's punched him, and like he obviously worked punch. He went down, but on the way down, he hit something.
Oh my god!
Hit right open.
Who was this? Don Callis.
Don Callis. Yeah.
Jesus, no, I did. I've completely missed that on wrestling news and Twitter. Wow.
Somebody other than Moxley busted open. That's it.
Sorry?
Someone other than Moxley busted open.
Yeah, exactly. Apparently, you can see his skull when he had it down.
Vom. Right, can't deal with that. Right, okay, so with that, we'll say that is all. So until next time, enjoy WrestleMania. We'll come back with some reactions to Mania, I'm sure, next week. Oh, look at that, awesome stuff. And an Undertaker should turn up. There you go.
And
Live from New York, it's